Like we always do at this time, I go for mine, I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky. I go for mine, I get to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky.
I'ma get on the TV, mama. I'ma push this down.
Hey, 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 hey.
Okay, it's another Tuesday, so it's another B12 day. Yay. This video is not going to be very long. I think mostly because I made that little extra video last week. And this week I've got a major examination tomorrow. So I'm not going to make a very long video. I talked about the E-series last week. So this week I'm going to talk about the GA series. I do know a lot about the GA series. Obviously, they came from 1989, excuse me, to 1990 in the Nissan Sentras and Pulsar in X's. From 89 to 90, of course, they were the GA16i, which was the 12-valve single overhead cam engine. I think it was 90 base horsepower. Which was a step up from the E-series, I have to say. Still nowhere close to as powerful as the next generation Sentra would be. The biggest thing about the GA16Is is there is almost absolutely no aftermarket support for them here in the United States. Europe and Japan, I think there's... Sorry, once again I'm in a city and people get shot, so I will let the police car pass like so. There's not a lot of aftermarket support for the GA16i. I think the only item that I know of is the Euro cam, which Steve has now on his GA16i, so whenever he can post a video, hopefully he'll talk about that. GA16i has much thicker connecting rods than the GA16e, which could be quite advantageous. A lot of people use them in GA16s. If I was ever going to build a turbo block or a naturally aspirated block not using E-series rods, I would definitely use GA16i as opposed to the stock GA16DE rods. There was at one point an underdraft pulley made for the GA16DE that could, in theory, be used on the GA16i. I think the bolt patterns were a bit different, but if you have access to an auto parts store, you could go and get custom belts made and all of that. Obviously the GA16i was throttle body fuel injector, which means I had one fuel injector, which is not necessarily key for boosting, so not many people have actually turboed the GA16i. Though there have been at least one theorised that I know of. I've never seen actually pictures or confirmations of it. But pretty much most people know a lot about the GA series, so if you've got questions about it, you can talk to me, you can talk to I think Bob89 Sentra is a very good, reliable source on this in forums in regards to the single cam GA series as well. He's very knowledgeable. He's done a lot of write-ups and that sort of thing on it. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Oh, another news, AKX Nads, who is Thursday, he's having a bit of trouble. He's not going to be able to make very many videos, so I think I've got someone who will be filling in. If it comes down to it, it might be that since we don't have anyone for the B13s or B11s, Jerry hasn't posted yet and Steve hasn't posted yet, it might just be that I'll find 7 people who are Sentra owners. It doesn't necessarily matter what chassis type they are, and we'll all just sort of talk about our cars. So it'll still be the Sentra channel, but it won't necessarily be as strict and structured, so that could be good. Next week is going to be a little bit of a discussion about the CA series, which I know did not technically come in the Sentra here in the US, but it did come overseas, and we do have some overseas viewers, so we will talk about that, and so stay tuned. Cheers.